I've been voted 2014 Forbes 30 under 30 social entrepreneurs in the world. And the other award that I got that I'm very proud of, I've been voted 2014 entrepreneur in my village. So I want to tell you a little bit about my village. It's this small. So it's like saying, I am the best good-looking man in this room right now, facing that way. Don't turn around, you'll ruin the odds. My name is Chris, and my company is called Rides for Lives. And I want to take you through a little journey in the next few minutes to tell you a little bit about where I came from and what kind of inspired to get me where I am right now. So I come from a country called Uganda. It's in East Africa, and that's the journey that I took, the little blue dotted line you see. That's the journey I took to come from where my village is to San Francisco. That's where I work right now. And Uganda is a small country, it's the size of Oregon. It has about 37 million people. And lots of poverty in most places. This is my house. This is where I grew up. It was about 9 people, and lots of, my siblings, my brothers, my parents, we all lived in this one thatched house. All poverty of all kinds you can imagine. From, no electricity, no running water, all the fancy stuff that, people take for granted. This is the road that leads to my village on a good day. And this is my dad. My father passed away of HIV/AIDS when I was about 7 years old. And my mother followed thereafter. So at 7 years old, as culture has it, I was given this responsibility as a child head to take care of my younger siblings, 4 of them. As you can imagine, in this country at 7, you can't even cross the street by yourself. So around when I was 15, and I can go on about this story between 7 and 15, and we'll be here for a whole day. But around when I was 15, this lady came into my life. She started an orphanage. And this orphanage is called YES Uganda. And what she does is she brings in orphans that have been orphaned by AIDS and help them go to school and eventually learn a trade so you can support your family. During that time, when I was going through the program in the orphanage, this family came through as well. They are my now adopted parents in America. So my grandmother Helms came through this program and supported me to go to school in Uganda and eventually offered to bring me here in the United States to go to school in California. So through so many things between coming to the United States and trying to go to school. And my mom, actually, bless her heart, she had to teach me literally everything. From this is a computer, this is a microwave, this is a refrigerator, things I've never seen before. I had to learn from scratch as a little baby. And I went to school. I was able to graduate on top of my class, and I was actually the student speaker, which was pretty cool. And when I finished a mechanical engineering degree from UC Berkeley, I eventually went on the same school to do my graduate school in the same field of mechanical engineering. So I finished my master's and did on my PhD in mechanical engineering. So while I'm away, my life is all good, everything's going great, I have a great family. My thoughts and minds are never away from the place where I grew up, the place that I call home, with so much devastation, sadness, pain, and lack of access to so many things, and healthcare being one of those. If you're lucky and you get an emergency, a medical emergency, you have about 4 people carrying you around on their shoulders and take you to the nearest health unit or hospital there is. Or you have a loved one, they carry you, and hopefully they can afford to carry you. Some places, and if you're lucky, you have a bicycle, and they put you on a bicycle and they take you to the hospital. And for some mothers in the room, you can imagine if you're pregnant, to be carried in a wheelbarrow to be taken to the hospital is not particularly a very comfortable first experience to try to have a baby. So, in a way of giving back, combining my experiences and my technical background, plus my experiences, and mind you, my parents passed away of HIV/AIDS. I lost a brother in my care while he was on his way to the hospital because of lack of access to healthcare. So I decided, in a way of giving back, combining these two resources that now I have, is to start doing something in the healthcare field. That's when I started the company Rides for Lives. So we build products that literally save lives. So our first product is a motorcycle ambulance. It's a cart that can be carried by either a motorcycle, a bicycle. If you don't have any of those, you can actually drag it. It's 8 feet tall, and it carries up to 400 pounds. It takes people from their villages to the nearest hospital. And in most places, like in my country, 80% of the people live in rural areas. And you can imagine 37 million, and 80% of that live in rural areas lacking access to healthcare. And that's how it looks like in the inside. It's a mattress with a pillow, comfortable ride, better than the alternatives. And to date, we've distributed close to 500 units and serving about 300,000 people. Thank you. And that little boy was actually born inside the ambulance. So while taking people to the hospital, there was this other problem that we actually noticed, that when you take people in the hospital, they are lying on the floor, they are trying to see this only doctor there is, and they spend days, sometimes a couple of days trying to get access to this doctor. We're like, oh, how about if we try to bring the hospital to the people? That was the next product. We created a hospital on wheels. So this is a medical unit that has a doctor's room, a lab, and a pharmacy. And it has a solar panel on top for power needs. And we bring these to places that are kind of populated, like marketplaces, and we serve people where they are. And this is one of our units in service. As you can see, there's a huge need. Lines and lines. We run out of supplies before we can run out of the people to serve. And you cannot name one place in Africa that do not need this. And there are so many places here in the United States that do need this. So we're trying to work our way to make sure that we get this kind of innovation to places that need it the most, as much as we can. Our work has a lot of benefits, employment, environmental factors, and all other interesting things that come with it. Don't take my word for it. There has been a few publications about our work. So I'd like to conclude with this. In life, sometimes you get hit hard in the head with a brick. It's up to you to dust the pieces off, lift yourself up, and keep moving. It takes a lot of passion, lots of determination, but if you have those two, anything is possible. Keep going. Thank you.